Okay, welcome back to the Mommy Pod. We have Tasha Thomas here. She is going to tell us a little bit about herself.
Hello. It's good to finally chat with you. Tell you about myself. Um, let's see. I just turned 50 a few days ago, 50-year-old single mom
Happy
of a
birthday.
13-year-old, thank you, of a 13-year-old boy. He is neurodivergent, autistic with ADHD. Um, I too am not neurodivergent. I have ADHD and other things going on. And right now we live in Georgia, um, Atlanta metro area. We moved here from North Carolina. Um, so luckily I got him into a middle school that he has a teacher that is just phenomenal. So we're going to route eighth grade here and see what's in store for high school.
That's so
Um,
exciting.
Let me see. Oh, my background as far as professionally is in mostly pharmaceuticals, quality control, compliance, things like that. Um, and I am starting grad school next Monday, um, getting a master's in regulatory science. So
Wow,
that's it. That's us in a nutshell.
that's awesome. That's incredible. Getting your master's. Congratulations on that as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for being on this podcast with us and opening up to us. That your son is 13.
He just turned 13 too.
Oh, wow. So what is it like going into teenagehood? You just got a new teenager. What is that like?
Yes. Um, I think he started teenaging before becoming an official teenager. It's funny when people say, you know, when they're like with kids, they're like, watch out for the terrible twos. And but when they hit that three-nager stage, I think I got a sneak peek. I was
Um,
like, they were not kidding when they called these kids three-nagers. This is like a really short teenager in my house. So I guess I got a sneak peek, but yeah, um, he's definitely, going through some changes and things. He's always, well, not always, but he's been in the last few years about advocating for himself. But he's really good at it now. And I'm like, oh, we might have to dial some of that back. But, you know, bottom line, he is a sweet kid with mostly the best intentions. And if you ever told him that what he was doing was disrespectful or he would mortified. Uh, so he's just really into being himself, and he thinks it's his job to make people laugh. So he can be a bit of a class clown, but I actually knew that ever since he was one. I was like, oh gosh, you're going to be just like your dad. You're going to be the class clown. Um, so speaking of, he did lose his dad a few weeks ago.
Sorry to hear
So
that.
unexpected and sudden, yeah, kind of threw me for a loop. So, but he seems to be doing okay for the most part, you know.
Were you
But that's
co-parenting?
grief. Well, as much as possible, as good, being a couple of states away. I
Mhm.
actually had been planning to take him to see his dad, um, like like literally the week before, like Fourth of July weekend, but I couldn't make it. Um, so that has really been like, kind of eating at me. But but all in all, I think he's doing okay. It's just, grief comes in waves and, you know, all of a sudden something might trigger a memory, of a parent, so because both of my parents are gone as well.
I'm sorry.
So I know what that's like, but not from the perspective of losing a parent so young. So
Right.
yeah.
That's really hard. I'm sorry that you're going through that. That's a whole different thing to navigate and to add on top of teenagehood. And
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
I'm a firm
But I
believer everything happens as it should. And so please try not to let that eat you up. I know it's hard not to,
oh
but
yeah.
yeah, you had no idea that could happen. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
well,
pretty sudden.
but would you like to change topics or because I don't
Okay.
want you to, yeah.
Well, I will end it on this positive, well, kind of bittersweet note. I actually have two girlfriends that are single moms as well. And this year they also lost the father of their kids.
Wow.
Um, one was 40, one was in his 50s, and like a sudden death from natural causes. So, the good things is that we can support each other, check in with each other, you know, share tactics or techniques and how to deal with, certain things. So,
Right. That's so, I
yeah,
mean, it's a horrible thing to have to connect.
it's weird, yes, but it is
Good to have that
weirdly comforting. Yeah, sure, but we can switch gears.
connection. Well, thank you for sharing that. And so let's see. I have some questions here, but also I'm really curious about how you've navigated raising your son and your career
Hmm.
because you have a teenager and
Hmm.
I feel like I'm just getting started. Mine's 4. Um,
Oh.
and so I just,
So
do you have any advice on navigating, or do you want to share what it was like as if you were a single mom, if when he was young, and
yeah,
then
so
what
that's a
it
cute stage.
like,
I love that stage. So I was it's interesting because his father, we were still together, physically in the same, house and everything until till my son was like 5.5 or so years old.
Mhm.
So he did, but we were not married. So he was great with him as a baby. I worked, he stayed home. Um, but it started to wane as my son got older. So, by 4 or 5, um, I started taking him to pre-K, and I was fortunate to have changed jobs that also allowed me to do that. The first job I had was I had to be there 7 in the morning, sometimes 6:30. Um, so we were able to, navigate that. But then I got another position that, allowed me to start like 8:30. So I was able to take him to school and pick him up. And it's fortunate that the company I was with at the time, they had a daycare. Like literally, you walk over the sidewalk and you're at the daycare.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome.
they gave priority to their employees. Unfortunately, they sold it. Um, and that was such a big draw. But it was tough. I tell people I used to be like a night owl, and sometimes I still am, but just having a baby, turned me into a day person. I used to love to work like second shift jobs, but I could no longer do that. I was sleepy in the evening because of how a kid can just turn your life upside down, as they should.
Yeah.
Um, but that was just one of the more memorable ways in which he kind of adjusted how I live my life. Um, after five, after we separated physically, it was a lot more challenging, because I already was doing, as moms do, like some married women complain about being a married single mom. That's what I mean by it was waning, because after a while, I was just basically taking over everything.
Mm-hmm.
Before I was still doing doctor appointments and all of that kind of stuff, like navigating things, how we default turn into family managers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but he definitely started to wane off with childcare. So by the time we split up, um, I was kind of almost used to doing everything on my own, um, which, can prove to be problematic, like when you have health issues. You know, I had a couple of surgeries and I had to kind of, you know, call other reinforcements. um, some family, I mean, not family, but close family friends that were like family, um, to help either pick them up from after school or um, come help clean up or, things like that. Um, but it's definitely, and especially as I was diagnosed late with ADHD. So I wasn't diagnosed until I was 43. But, the ADHD is going to ADHD. So, um, I look back and sometimes I wonder how I kept some of that stuff straight. I think it was routine.
Yeah.
Um, and I've seen that uh, kind of thing like repeated as advice on like social media and the internet, especially if you're a person that has trouble with like motivation or discipline. If you employ systems and routines, that'll help you get you through. So it's kind of on autopilot. Um, just this is unfortunately like my job. You have a job and then you have he has to be at school by a certain time and picked up by a certain time. So you have those things to kind of default lay out your schedule. And then just everything else kind of has to either fit in there or on the weekend. Like, for example, as soon as we split up, as soon as I could, I put him in therapy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I, I don't know what it's like to deal with something that might like feel like divorce to a kid.
Right.
Um, So, I put him in therapy to help him gain skills to help cope with that. Um, that had to be done on the weekends until I found out that he could actually go to therapy in school. Um, in our school district, back in my home state, um, the health department and like the school system kind of work together where the health department would assign some of their like social workers to schools,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just there to provide therapy, because every school has its own like social worker anyway, provide resources for families and things like that. And they also have school counselors, but this person was dedicated to providing mental health support and therapy to the kids there. And since my son, had an IEP already, I didn't really have to do a whole lot to, justify him needing it. And that's a great system. It's why some people call teachers or schools, glorified babysitters, but to me, I look at them as like, part of your family village. Um, some teachers can be lifesavers. I'm out here in Metro Atlanta. They know telling when traffic might delay me, 15, 20 minutes to pick him up from school. But his teacher's like, oh no, don't worry about it. Get here when you get here. I care about my students, want to make sure that, they're safe and everything. Um, or, if you're fortunate to be friends with another student that goes to your school, and well, friends with their parents rather, then you can, you know, have someone to call on to depend on them. I
Mhm.
actually had found someone on Facebook to pay to take my son to after school because his after school at the time did not pick up from his school. But then there was another kid there that went to the same after school. So that kid's parents and we split, we paid the same person. We just like, shared the cost for that. And that worked out great for a while. And then the after school started picking up from their
Oh,
school the next year. So that was great. So it's just little ways like that. Um, I really do advocate for therapy. Fortunately, the therapist that I set him up with, can't remember how I found her, probably through our insurance website. But, you know, after the first session, she was like, oh, okay, well, he's autistic, right? And I said, we suspected, but he doesn't have a diagnosis yet. And she said, oh, okay, but we've got somebody in our office that can do that. So
oh,
that was great as well because even though he already had an IEP, it was for it wasn't for autism and ADHD yet. During that evaluation, that's when he was diagnosed with autism and ADHD.
mm,
Um, so I took him to therapy to try to, help him cope with one thing, and he was able to get his diagnosis to get him, continue with the services in school and that were more specialized to his specific diagnosis. They don't typically like to diagnose children before the age of 4 or 5 with autism, just in general. I mean, there are cases when can, it's obvious that a child needs more supports. And for my son, it's typically been an invisible disability for him, to the untrained eye. So that was really important to get that in place. Um, so I definitely think there are just ways that you can, incorporate uh, people or systems or devices like therapy into your village. I
right. Yeah,
mean,
that's really
yeah.
good that you point that out, and that's awesome that there's a lot of resources that are available.
Hmm.
You just got to know where to
Right.
look, and the fact that they
Yeah.
were right there at his school, that's awesome. And then things kept
Yeah,
happening
it was
that
awesome.
worked out in your favor, like you found the ride share, and then the school started doing pickup.
Hmm. Yeah,
Some
it
things
was
feel
neat.
impossible at first, or they seem really
Right.
hard, or like some people are scared to leave because they don't think they can do it on their own, when in reality, you've been doing it
Right.
on your own for a long time.
Right.
And
Exactly.
once you step out, everything that you need will come. It might not be easy and you
Right.
might have to go find it, but it's all there for you. you don't have to live in misery with someone who doesn't treat you right or, you know,
Yes, exactly.
pull their share of the weight.
And like with your podcast, you're like reaching out and asking questions, you're just starting out and that way, I mean, that's just gaining information, getting the cheat codes,
Really, yeah,
so
right.
to
It's really
speak.
for me, so
Yeah,
I can learn how to be a better mom and how to navigate this
right.
crazy motherhood. Because I lost my mom when I was 6, so I didn't really have a mom
Oh
growing up.
man, I'm
So
sorry.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about doing this podcast so I can reach out to as many moms as I can to just get as much information as I can, and then maybe someone else wants to listen and learn too. So
Yeah, exactly.
thank
Oh,
you.
yeah.
So then after, so that sounds like you got settled. Was that all in North Carolina?
Yes, that was all in North Carolina.
And then,
And I realized when I moved here how spoiled I was.
okay, so
Um,
I'm from North Carolina. Do you want to say what part?
you are?
Yeah,
Yeah, from Wilmington.
stop it. That's where I'm
I'm
from.
serious.
That is where I'm
Where you
from.
from?
Wilmington.
You from Wilmington? Shut
Yes,
the
ma'am.
front door.
Yeah. I was
Whoa.
born
Okay.
in Greensboro, and then when I was about 3,
Mm-hmm.
I moved in with my grandparents in Wilmington. And so I stayed there till I was,
Wow.
yeah, it is a small world. I love Wilmington.
It is.
What
Yeah,
made you
I do
move?
too. I miss it. Yeah.
What made you move from Wilmington or North Carolina?
Um, well, so after, I believe it was Florence, after Hurricane Florence. So, okay, my parents died in 2014 and 2015. And unfortunately, I learned that they got a second mortgage on their house. So I was like, oh my God, we're gonna have to
That's a
sell this
whole
house.
nother topic that we could talk about.
Listen, yeah,
I am so upset at that. But I feel like I feel like our parents and grandparents were targeted. Like these companies knew what they were doing.
that's a possibility. That's a possibility.
Yeah, they didn't need to, but they made it sound really good, I think. Because my grandma got
But
taken advantage
also,
too. But I mean, it's a choice.
oh man,
But I feel like it
it
was more.
is. And this, I'm not, when were your grandparents born? My parents are part of the silent generation. Because my sister is 9 years older. So
What
my
is the
parents are
silent
typically
one?
like 10 years older than my friends' parents. Um,
What's the silent
but
gen?
that's before, that's basically before baby boomers. So 1945 and earlier, like 1945 to like 1930-ish, I
Okay,
think.
that's probably where my grandparents fall.
Okay. Yeah. So, that generation, especially, that, they don't, there's always been this line of demarcation between adult or parent business and child business, and their business is none of our business. And so, when they make decisions about things, they don't tend to be vocal or share it, until they're stage 4 and almost out of here. Even then, you know, so the reasons why they did certain things, made certain financial moves like that, uh, baffle me. And I can only try to like piece together some of the reasons because as far as I knew, my parents were financially savvy. Um, but like those moves they made. Like my mom had, now I was fortunate that my parents passed away through hospice. So this is also weird for me because, my son's father, that was sudden.
Mhm.
You have more of ability to like have closure, have memories, when they're sick. And my mom knew she was sick and she knew eventually become terminal. And my dad also, he was a 15-year prostate cancer survivor. So eventually it'll come back. And so I just, looking at bank statement and mortgage bills. Why did they do that? Why? So when I saw that meme going around about, don't sell grandma and grandpa's house and all that, keep it in the family. Well, that all depends. Did grandma and grandpa get a second mortgage on a house that was paid off? Can afford the mortgage? Is the house old? Will it need like, even if the house didn't have a mortgage, you're going to have to probably get another loan against it if it's, so many years old.
Right, you got
It
to get
was built in the
repairs
50s,
repairs.
60s. Yes. And we had, we had buyers like really jump on it until they got the inspection report. Oh, this is damning. So, just left with a mess. So yeah, you really almost have to be independently financially well off to even acquire property free and clear. Um, because it's probably going to eventually need repairs or upkeep or what have you. So yeah. And
So,
unfortunately, I
living in
had my son
Georgia?
later. Huh?
Is your parents living in Georgia or North Carolina?
North Carolina. So me and my sister were born in Durham. That's where my parents met.
Okay, that's where my
And
family met.
yeah, and so we moved back. My dad got a job at a pharmaceutical company in Southport. So then we moved to Wilmington when I was about 3 years old. My sister was 12. But we still have lots of family and friends. Like Durham is like kind of like my second home. My sister's godmother is still there. My godmother is still there in the area. Um, two of her besties she grew up with, they're like kind of like my default sister besties as well.
Mhm.
And so, that's always good. And I have, several friends in the area. I went to college in Greensboro. That's what I was about to say. So did you go to UNCW or did you go somewhere else?
I didn't. I went somewhere else because I moved to California when I was 16. And then,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that was the worst time
You
ever
moved
to,
to the other side of I-40?
right. And we
You know
thank
that
God
sign
for
that
the
they have
other
on I-40?
side. Yeah.
Say what?
There's a sign down here that says, tells you how long to Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yes.
Mhm.
And then we had the one like Barstow. Is it Barstow?
Yep.
Barstow,
That's
California is like
good.
4,500 miles away.
Yeah,
That is pretty cool.
that is-
One of my besties moved to the LA area several years ago. He loves it.
oh, good. I'm glad he loves it. Some
Yeah.
people don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I've only been out there once. Um, I'd like to go back again.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, come on, visit us. So what made you
so,
move to, what'd you say?
Georgia. What
Yes.
made me move to Georgia?
Yes.
Um, so my sister retired probably a couple of years ago now. And we have cousins here because the other side of, like, my dad's side of the family is from Wilmington in the Wilmington area. like some of the rural areas outside Wilmington, Bladen County, and all that. But my mom's side is from Montgomery, Alabama. And one of our cousins, after he finished school, he moved to the Atlanta area. And so when we would come, decide to, go visit family in Alabama, we would make a pit stop at our cousin's, stay the night or something,
Mhm.
and then continue on because it's like a 9-hour drive if you drive straight through. Uh, so he's been here, I don't know, 40 years, 30, 40 years now, him and his wife and his family. And then my sister would come down here like every Christmas for several years, for, just to visit with him and his family. So being familiar with him, he's probably one of like two or three cousins that I have a closer relationship with. Then my sister decided to retire down here. She was tired of the weather uh, in Maryland. And so I needed more support with my son than his father could provide at the time. And a lot of that was just situation. He was on SSI, so he didn't bring in a lot of money. There would be times when I'd say, "Can you pick Ruben up from school? I need to, or from after school, I need to stay to work later." And he'll be like, "I don't have any gas," you know.
Mhm.
So it just it just wasn't reliable enough for me.
Right.
And so I came down here because,
That's
thinking my sister would be able to help out, as far logistics are concerned.
that's one thing
So
I've been thinking about a lot because I don't know if I should, well, I do know, but I've been contemplating moving home because I'm like, what if we need more support? But luckily right now,
hmm
his dad's very hands-on and
Oh,
I
that's good.
built kind of like a good support system around me. So we're okay for now, but I totally understand
Yeah.
wanting to move so that you have more support. I think that's important. We also only have 5 minutes with this one.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Um, can we come back again?
Yeah, I have time.
Okay. Um, okay, let's
Do you want
see.
to send another link or
Yes. Do you have
something?
time? Do you need to do it right now, or could we come back uh later today? What's your schedule like?
We can do it later today. The only thing is I leave around 3:30 to go pick my son up from school,
Okay,
but I'll probably be back around 5-ish, 5:15-ish.
okay, so I
Mm.
was gonna say 1:30, 1:30, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be
So that
four.
would be like 4:30.
So 5:15 would be two
That would
two
be
fifty.
fine. Yeah, 2:15 for you. hmm
Okay,
Or
cool.
later. I mean, I'm open.
Okay. Shoot for later then, because I
Since I'm
want to.
unemployed now, I'm pretty open.
I'm sorry.
Say what?
That's I'm sorry. We have lunchtime right now, so I just wanted to make sure I grab lunch.
Oh, okay.
And I know that I
Sure.
have a lot more questions for you. Um,
Okay.
so what if we do it? Yeah, so what is later? What time do you? I think my latest that
I go
I've
to
done.
bed late. So, I go to bed, let me see, it would probably be 9 o'clock your time. Like I go to bed like around 11, 12 at night.
Okay,
Uh,
can we
so probably
do?
around 8 to 9.
My kids take forever to go to sleep. Can
Yeah. Yes. Is he still taking naps?
Now they are, because I have two actually. I have a 4-year-old and a 1-year-old, and they are both in preschool
Oh,
and daycare,
oh,
and they
oh my
both,
God, so precious. Yeah, they
yeah,
both take naps. Okay.
yeah. I needed my son to have a friend. He needed a sibling, so me and his dad were on the way out. But I said, you know what? Let's, you know,
You are not the first and will not be the last to do that. A woman I follow on social media does it, talked exactly about that phenomenon. And I actually, it was a similar thing with me. We were trying, but I don't know, I guess it didn't work out.
um,
After I had a
but
hysterectomy,
what?
I figured out why. Yeah.
God knows what what we can handle, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
This little,
So yeah,
yeah, it's rough.
I get it.
I'm like a referee and gotta jump in between the middle of them, and they
Yeah.
are clawing each other. Um, okay, so I'll send you another link if you're okay with, let's say, 10 o'clock my time. Oh, that'd be midnight your
Sure,
time.
that's fine. It'd be
Is that okay?
one, but it's fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I'll be up.
oh my gosh, I'll do 9. Is 9 okay? Or we could do a different,
Uh,
if we want to do a different day, that's totally fine too. I don't want you to have to stay up.
sure. Let's see. Let me look at my schedule.
Just so you know where I'm at. Tomorrow I can do any time after 10 my time.
Okay.
That would be 1 your time.
Um,
I can do any time after.
yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm free. I have a webinar at 10:30. I don't think it's gonna last until 1:30. I don't know why I have it till 1:30. That's
It
weird.
might. Some webinars
But
go.
yeah, just in case. I mean, I can do anytime after 1:30.
Okay, so that would be 11, 12, 1, 10, 11, 12, 1. So
Mhm.
10:30. Oops. What is today's date? Okay,
So that
10:30.
would be 7:30 um not to 10 o'clock your time. 7:30 to 10:30 your time. Um,
Oh, in the
so
morning.
by the time you get, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So it'll probably be like 11 o'clock or after for you. I mean 11 a.m. or after. But you
So
said you were available after 2?
yeah, are you available after 1 o'clock your time?
Yeah, after 1:30.
Oh, 1:30.
So yeah. Well, yeah, because then
Then
that'll
you'll
be
probably want a break, right?
more, probably more like 2 o'clock, because that'll be like about 5 my time.